Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to look at Cleveland versus Boston. This is a game that occurred last week sometime. I'm recording this in March, early March. And as this is probably going to be, or there's decent chances it's going to be the East Finals matchup, I thought this would be something to go out and look at and see what the strategy implemented. We're going to look at Boston in particular in this video. I'm going to do next week's video is going to be on the Cavs and see what they essentially tried to do on offense to attack what the other team did on defense. Let's go. All right, so the first thing we're looking at is when this ball screen occurs, what do the Cavs do on defense? So this is something the Celtics are going to especially try and capitalize in the future. So we saw a little bit of like a ghost screen kind of thing. And the Cavs switched. So now we have Evan Mobley that is on Jason Tatum. And while the Cavs maybe aren't trying to look to get Evan Mobley involved in defense, they are trying to look at other players on the Cavs and try and get them specifically involved on defense. And that player that they really wanted to target was named Darius Garland. So first off, if they had the opportunity in transition, they would always do that. So first off, we have Jaylen Brown getting down here. And so that's one thing they love to push in transition to try and get these matchups early because they have good shooters, so you can't leave somebody. So that means that Jaylen Brown is with Darius Garland, and Jaylen Brown essentially just uses physicality to create openings down low, even though he threw it away. But regardless, he had good position. So again, we see the Boston pushing in transition, and again, because you have shooters, that means Jaylen Brown is able to essentially go pick who he wants. He goes and targets Darius Garland because that's who he wants. Now you give the time for the offense to space out, give yourself room to work, and then he knows that he is going to attack Darius because that is where Boston has deemed a huge advantage. And I mean, they are up to a massive lead to start this game. He misses that first shot, but because he has the size and physicality, there's a good chance he's going to be able to get the rebound, which is part of the reason why they think it's so advantageous for them. So we see the Celtics running with the ball, not in transition this time, so we get to see the half court. First off, ball screen set there. What is going to happen? Switch between the Cavs. Okay. This has a couple of impacts. The first thing is Jarrett Allen is your rim protector, and now he has to guard somebody on the perimeter, a good shooter on the perimeter. And so what does that mean? That means you no longer effectively have a rim protector because he's so focused on the perimeter. And so that allows Jaylen Brown, once again, they're going to post up Darius Garland, and there's no one that can really help. Like, you can help off a shooter, but then you're giving something else out. Jarrett Allen can't leave Jason Tatum, surely, and so that means that you're going to have a lot of room to work with if you're Jaylen Brown. And as soon as Donovan Mitchell is going to, if he commits, they're going to find something open on the perimeter, and he's able to kick it out, and they look at a pretty clean look. Derek White just misses it. However, that is an extremely dangerous gamble to make as Boston has some of the best shooters in the league. Frankly, both these teams have really, really good shooters. So this is the threat, though. So Jason Tatum is able to essentially get Strus one-on-one, and he beats him slightly. He beats him off the dribble. And so the Cavs have been, they've been taught that, essentially somebody needs to help. And you can't really help off the near side because that's an easy kick out to a three. And so Evan Mobley is like, well, it's my responsibility. I'm the next longest, next tallest. I'm the next help defender. And so he helps down. But the Celtics are absolutely tremendous in this as Jason Tatum, the ability to instantly peek up and identify where the help came from and have a great pass out to the outside. And that is why the Celtics put you in such a difficult strait because you can't afford to help because they'll hit threes from the outside. So then we jump to the fourth quarter and we see much of the exact same thing. The first thing is instead of Darius Garland, they're attacking Ty Jerome in this situation. So we can see what happened just right there. Ball screen, switch. And the reason they want to do that is they want Jason Tatum to be able to attack Ty Jerome. Okay, so they get the ball into him. And one of the big things I like is they tried to attack up the middle whenever possible to give themselves a little bit more space. But, I mean, this is not what the Cavs want. Jason Tatum on Ty Jerome on Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum's going to win that battle quite often. Again, what do we got? We're going to have ball screen. What's going to happen? Switch. Okay, Derek White does a good job drawing the offensive player away a little bit and then turning back to be able to pass to Jason Tatum. Throws to the outside hand. Clean. Love it. Give Jason Tatum space to attack. If they help, then you can try and punish that help. But first off, you got to give him the space to attack. Jason Tatum looks to attack, uses his body to back him down, and again, gets a really good look. He ends up missing this, but this is still a very high percentage shot. And we can see this is the first three possessions in a row where they're doing the exact same thing. Like there's no hiding it, they're doing the exact same thing. And so this is kind of the next level. It's like, well, if he's going to repeatedly just target target Ty Jerome, then at some point we're going to have to send help if he's scoring so efficiently. And so this is kind of the next thing, is Jason Tatum is actually trying to get to the inside right here, so theoretically the pass could go over. And so what the Cavs have to do is they have to shade over to make sure he doesn't have that inside position. And so because of that, Jaylen Brown is like, well, if you're gonna shade over, I'm simply gonna go to the vacated area and put his defender in an extremely difficult position. Do I stay down here where Jason Tatum potentially has a layup? Do I follow Jaylen Brown, who has a potential three? And Jaylen Brown does a great job making himself available. Donovan Mitchell is maybe a little slow to react. Maybe you probably don't want to react because you have Hauser's also a really good three-point shooter in the corner, but it gets to a clean three from Boston because of, again, the same concept. And then fast forward 3 minutes, and what do we see? We see ball screen, and the goal is simply Ty Jerome's out now, and Darius Garland came in. They're going after Darius Garland. So this is the thing, is the Celtics, like, they had a pretty straightforward game plan, and so, like, the Cavs are obviously trying not to switch right there, but you just have to at some point if there's enough contact being made. And so I would guess that because this is such a straightforward game plan, there's a good chance the Celtics simply stay with it over the long run, especially if they play these two again, because, I mean, Darius Garland's not getting any bigger. And so that's going to be one of the big questions, is essentially how efficient can Boston be on offense targeting Darius Garland? Will it be more efficient for them to beat Darius Garland one-on-one, or will it be more efficient for the Cavs on offense, because the Cavs have a very explosive offense, and clearly they ended up winning this game. And so it'll definitely be something curious to watch and see if the Cavs, if they gamble and try and send help to help Darius Garland, or they say, Darius Garland, you're a decent enough defender, you're going to do a good job. It's just going to be a tough game for you. Either way, if you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.